Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? This is a requested video. Some of you wanted me to talk about my application process stages with you. So if there could be some takeaways from that. So that's what I'm going to do today. At the age of 33 and after having worked with Visa World and sending a lot of clients through to Australia, I finally decided that it is time that I also do my application process. There were a lot of reasons why I chose to migrate to Australia. I've already done a video on that. That was probably my first video on this channel. I will put a link to that video in the description box. So I chose skilled migration because that seemed to be the most cost effective and the most feasible pathway for myself. So that's what I did. And at that point in time, the pass mark requirement for skilled migration was 60 points. I had 65 points. So the nominated occupation that I chose was a customer service manager. That seemed to be the most relevant occupation. So what I did was I took the skills assessment support service from Vetassess, where there are a couple of options of services that you can take. I took the one which was around a consultation around the nominated occupation chosen, and Vetassess was against me choosing customer service manager. They felt probably that's not the best choice, and I still went ahead with the same occupation because that was my best bet, that was my best choice, and there was no other way to know if it'll work without having chosen it and gone ahead. So I did that. I went ahead with customer service manager and I lodged my Vetassess skills assessment application. That was on 7th of February 2017, and the Vetassess outcome came through, positive outcome came through on 1st of April 2017. There were no verifications that was actually done for my Vetassess application. None that I could know of. If they did a discrete verification, then possibly. And while the Vetassess was underway, I was preparing for my English language test because the next step of the process was lodging an EOI and the state application. The states were not open at that time, so I thought of utilizing that time and doing and preparing for my PT academic. My requirement was to get at least 10 points, for which I should have scored 65 in each of the 4 modules of PT academic. Thankfully, I got through that in the first attempt. And then on the 4th of July that same year, the states opened one by one. Adelaide, as I was expecting, was the one that opened for my occupation, and I went ahead and lodged my South Australian state application. The date was 4th of July 2017. Adelaide is usually very quick, and hence my state invite came through just in about 8 days on 12th of July 2017. Now, after the state invite is through, the next step is lodging the visa application within 60 days. So I started preparing for documentation, and in a month's time, I lodged my visa application. There was one thing which was pending at the time of lodgement, which was my police clearance. So I still went ahead and lodged my visa application without that. And my visa application lodgement date is 24th of August 2017. So the first CO contact that happened was on 27th of September 2017, and at that time they requested for my police clearance certificate and also the final degree of my bachelor's. I had submitted just a provisional degree, and they wanted, I had requested my university to give me the final degree. I did not have it at that point in time. So I went ahead and furnished these 2 requirements, of which there was another physical verification that happened. So the Australian Immigration, a representative from Australian Immigration Authority and the Australian High Commission came to my workplace early in the morning on a given day, and I was yet to reach the office then. So they met, the first lady that they met, they had a picture of me. They showed that picture to her, and they asked if I worked there, and she confirmed that yes, she's my boss. So they waited for me for 5-7 minutes, and I got into the office. And then we went into my conference room, and we had a really long, it seemed long, at least a 15-20 minutes conversation. They asked about my job roles, a lot of questions around it, and they wanted to see the evidence of a few questions around it. So for example, one of the tasks is handling client escalations for a customer service manager. So they wanted to hear the stories where a client escalation was handled by me. They wanted to see the documentary evidence, so I showed them few emails. They wanted to see my business card of what designation is mentioned and things like that. I showed it to them. Keep in mind, this is when in my due course of working with Visa World, had attended few seminars and sessions, and they knew me, and I used to send emails to them on behalf of the customers. So they kind of knew me, but they still wanted to come for the physical verification. They were recording all this conversation. They also clicked a picture of me, and they left. And after that, there was still a wait of a few months, and my visa grant came through on the 14th of June 2018. My initial entry date given was 31st. I had to travel by 31st of August 2018. So basically I had some 2 months to plan. So then I planned my travel and I flew, and then what happened, what was my life in the initial few days and weeks and months, I've done videos on that. You may want to go to my initial videos if you've not seen them yet. All right, that's all. Thank you very much for listening and sitting through this video. Thank you very much, guys, for subscribing and liking and your comments. I appreciate them. Actually, it's actually those things that makes me keep doing this video. Thank you very much. I'm really honored, and you have a great day. Bye.